You fumbled.
Yeah, but they're fucked and they don't have clean drinking water, so we're gonna help them out.
Alright.
You know, because we're good people. We're gonna help them out because we're good people. Yeah, let's roll with that. Because we're kind and generous and giving, and we're the new fucking, you know, vault hunter, blah, blah, blah. On the topic of jobs, just stopping by to say I got an interview with Domino's. Hell yeah. Nice, good shit. Did they remember you? Were they like, hey, you're that applicant that wanted to come before and then, like, didn't do anything? Yeah, she's pretty as fuck. She's kind of spicy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, literally just... Damn! The fuck? All that in one box?
Teabag took a lot more than that.
Jesus.
I know. Try to contain your anger. We'll have our revenge.
Nice, cool. It's good that they remembered you. That's a good sign. That means that you showed promise on your first initial, walk-in, which is good.
That's what worries me. But in lieu of the
I'm proud of you. Go get it, champ. Go get that bag.
finest vault hunter
Number one, because we need it. Number two, I want you to be able to be proud of yourself.
Wait, that stuff was mine. Oh, I must have left it after we,
I was right. They are banging. I told you.
time with the whips or the crotch cut.
Hey, yo, 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 whoa. This is a fucking PG-13 stream, Zane. What the fuck?
You retrieve it because you were not, as you said, my way-errand boyo.
Wouldn't have used the word we.
Man, this dialogue is insane. Look, dude, he tried to punch me then. He's really mad about that. I don't blame him. If I was Zane and somebody called me we, I'd be pissed too. I'd be like, really? I'm a fucking interdimensional bounty hunter. The fuck are you calling me we for? Why PG-13? Because I just got my Twitch channel back and I'm not trying to take no chances. If I'm being completely honest. Where's my fucking reward? Oh, there it is. I just had to wait for the quest marker to pop up to tell me where it is, because my ass is dyslexic and can't read a map. Or a waypoint. Or a legend. Or a key. No, I didn't. No. I didn't get banned. I didn't get banned, Mario. It's a stupid situation. Okay, so I'm gonna explain to you guys the horror of how I got my Twitch channel back. So I went on one day, updated my browser, and because I updated my browser, literally the system computerized logged me out of everything that I was actively logged into. So because it logged me out of everything I was logged into, the email that's originally associated with my Twitch account I no longer have access to because I don't remember the password. The Microsoft recovery process for being able to regain access to a lost password account is fucking impossible because the system is automated and it's dumb as fuck. And even though I'm putting all my legal information in there to prove my identity, they won't take my word for it. So the Microsoft system will not allow me re-entry access to my initial email made with my Twitch channel originally back in the day. That email is not an email that I can use anymore, so I want to update it to my new email, my most recent, more modern used email for fucking everything, and they won't let me do it without sending a verification code to my phone, which would normally not be a problem. The only issue with that is that my old phone is out of service. I had it discontinued and I got a new number. So because I was supplied with a new number and I can't change any of the details on my Twitch account directly to be able to send the verification to my new phone number, it insists on sending the verifications to my old phone number. So I was trying to contact Twitch support and saying, hey, like, I don't have access to the email that I used, and I don't have access to the phone that I originally used with the two-factor authentication. Is there any way that I can prove my identity to you guys so that I can get it updated and turn two-factor authentication off so I can go into my profile and change and customize all the settings to be more modern for what I typically use now? And they're like, oh, well, you're going to have to prove your identity. So I gave them my birth certificate, I gave them my payment details, I showed them my account. Literally, I was like, here's my computer, here's me in real time in front of my fucking private PC, blah, blah, blah. Here's my social security number, here's this, here's that, here's the fucking payment detail in the card that's linked directly to the fucking payment, here's the bank that supplies the card, here's the account numbers so you can fucking see as to the direct deposit details. And they're like, we're still not sure it's you. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, really? Like, are you fucking me right now? So I was worried that I wasn't going to get my main Twitch channel back, and luckily I reserved a backup just in case some bullshit like that ever happened. And don't get me wrong, I was still pissed. I was raging about it for fucking days. And, finally, I got in contact with a different member of Twitch support that was like, yeah, you know what, okay, alright, this all seems legitimate, blah, blah, blah. We'll turn off two-factor authentication for you this one time, so the next time you log in, you're going to be able to log in totally fine as long as you know what your Twitch details are and you know what your password is. So, literally, just log in, and then as soon as you're able, change your password, update your email, and then re-enable two-factor authentication so that this doesn't happen in the future. And now I know in the future that if I plan on getting a new phone with possibly with it a new number, I'm literally going to change my Twitch details to the new number before I get the phone set up, then set the phone up. And that's how I almost lost my fucking Twitch channel. So, like, literally, I was streaming from a backup for a couple days. Luckily, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a hell of a lot more of a ball ache than it was. And I'm grateful that it wasn't, but it was pretty shit. My name is Yorick. I have fucking Matrix goggles. Yeah, lesson learned. But basically, it's a story in fucking 5 parts and 2 minutes explanation. It's some bullshit. But yeah, like, I was fucking pissed. I was, like, sitting there screaming every single fucking morning about it. Yeah, like, you give them all your information. You give them the name of your firstborn child, the first person you ever slept with, what your nickname was in high school, what the name of your first pet was that's now dead. It's Goldie. It's the first goldfish you ever fucking owned in your life. And literally, they're like, we're not entirely convinced. And it's like, are you fucking serious? So fucking stupid, dude. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for Twitch support. Actually, I'm grateful for the one associate within Twitch support that had some fucking reasonable sense to their name and was like, yeah, I'll help you out. One-time pass, one-time deal. And I'm like, alright, you got it. Thanks, boss. Thanks, chief. Kudos.
That should do the job.
Because, like, typically their email said, named your first goldfish spot? Okay, you're one of the weird ones. I don't know why you'd do that. Not for a dog, but for a goldfish, but alright. You want to know what the name for one of my first goldfish was? Fucking Mirror Star, because it was shiny as fuck, and I thought it was galactical. I thought it was orbit. Literally, I got lost in the scales and the reflections from the water that trickled off it, and I was like fucking 6. Okay, that's some deep shit. Didn't just name it some fucking stupid, like, Sea Spot Run. The brown fox jumped over the lazy spot, you know? I was provocative when I named shit when I was a kid.
Levaine, any ideas percolating about that command bolt?
Only that it's certain.
Yeah, but Twitch support initially sent me an email saying, typically we do not turn off two-factor authentication for any given reason, granted that that extra layer of protection is there for your security and your safety to ensure nobody hacks into your Twitch account. And I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to hack my own fucking Twitch account. I've told you the name of the account. I've told you both emails associated with it. I've given you the full number that was originally associated with the account. I've given you my birth certificate. I've given you my debit cards. I've given you my social security number. Here's a photo ID of what I look like so you can cross-reference it with my video history so you can see that I'm actually the owner of the account and I'm fucking livid. And they're like, okay, now we believe you. I'm like, really? After all that, now you believe me? Thanks, Twitch support. Not very supportive, are they? Literally, my experience initially with Twitch support was like having a giant fucking 30-man team of firefighters, and them expecting me to jump out the window of a burning house, and then saying, we'll catch you, and then literally just moving the fucking trampoline. It's ridiculous. Like, literally. Sucked ass. I had issues with Twitch recently. Well, they issued the renewal, all channels I sub to, and total cost $400, likely like 2 or 3 emails. Okay, we refund you, expect money within the week. Yeah, what if I need that $400 that I spent on fucking bartering YouTubers now?
Wait a sec. If Zane disappeared without a word, how do you know where to start looking?
You know, like, if I was a really, really huge VTuber, like, if I was somebody that was, like, really, really famous, or really, really infamous, and I had a supporter or a subscriber that literally sent me, like, tons and tons of money over the course of my career, and literally donated to me and fucking subbed all the time and gifted subs to everybody, if they were having financial troubles, I'd be doing whatever the fuck I could to help them back. Like, I'd be like, bro, like, do you need a couple $100? Like, feel free to hit me, like, whatever, like, I got you, like, fuck. Okay, now we have to go to Fire Dust Bridge. Yay. I can't wait to go to Fire Dust Bridge. Sorry, I sound like fucking Ben Stein with how enthused I am. They didn't get me for the Ghostbusters sequel. You know, he would make the perfect door-to-door salesman. Would you like to add on a large fry for another $1? No? Okay. Your total is going to be $3.75. How do I get to this fucking bridge? Oh yeah, I also recently figured out that Ben Stein is still alive, so my bad, bro. I thought you died. I thought enough time had passed to be able to make fun of Ben Stein's voice, but apparently he's still kicking, so my apologies for the misinformation. He's very much still alive somehow. He sounds dead as fuck, but he's very much alive. And I feel like a dick, because I was quite confident that he was dead this entire time. Okay, so this is the Arch of Radix. But we can't go there yet. And we can't go there because see, Arch of Radix, but I don't have all the Vault Key components. I collected them on my other character, which is why I knew that place was called the Vault of Radix, obviously. But I don't have the Vault Keys on this character. I will try and go hunt them down off screen so we can just slam all the vaults back to back to back and we don't have to worry about the bullshit. Actually, you know what? I think, yeah, there's a silo over here, isn't there? I want that. It'll save me a shit ton of trouble later. Oh, I fucked up. I had to come from up there. Shit. Oops. I thought I was being smart, careening myself off of cliffs and jumping into pits of nothing, and goddamn. It's right, it's fine. It's okay. Wouldn't be the first time I've made a poor decision, maybe or maybe not, involving a motorized vehicle. I mean, $400 for subs, it's insane. Suddenly you realize you're 400 short for, like, no fucking reason. Why do you think I never sub to anybody? Like, there's very, very, very few people on this platform that I will actively subscribe to. And there are people that have been, like, insanely welcoming, you know, people that are, like, trans-inclusive, like, super LGBT supportive, like, people that actually give a shit about the content they make and the community they keep and everything like that. Like, there's very few people on this platform that I will actually go out of my way to financially support, like, directly through my own pockets. And every single one of them is really cool people. Where's this fucking stupid thing that I'm supposed to be getting? Is it up there on the cliffside somewhere? Am I just, like, blind? Stupid? Dumb? All three? Both? I don't know. And I swear to God, when I looked up on the cliff, it was, like, right here, and now it's not here. I'm so confused. Oh, it's there. Okay, well, if it's there, then where the fuck is the thing that I actually have to go into to be able to unlock the fucking thing? Oh, this is the one where you have to get into it through the cave system, isn't it? I think I remember that. Because there's, like, a whole bunch of creeps. Yeah, okay. You don't sub to everybody either. Well, like, you gotta think about it this way. There are such a wide influx of creators on the Twitch platform. Like, a lot of people just say stupid shit and, like, they get insanely famous. And, like, none of them gives a shit about it. And they're like, okay, well, whatever. And then, like, they don't give a shit about the community they hold. They don't care about who they influence. They don't care about who subscribes, you know? Like, they don't really give a fuck. They don't remember names. They're not invested in the lives of the people that watch them, you know, like, as a creator or whatever. And, like, I get that. Like, when you become, like, such a big fucking creator, yeah, it becomes impossible. Like, there's no way you're gonna be able to manage all of it. Like, you're not gonna be able to juggle 50,000 identities and different names. And, like, you know, when people change their names and their users and everything like that, like, there are so many ungrateful people on this fucking platform that just don't give a shit, that expect people to give them money, that are, like, entitled, and they're so fucking pissed off and pessimistic about who does and doesn't want to financially support. And then it's like, even the people that do financially support, they didn't support enough, or they're not there enough, or, like, you know, like, they just become forgotten. Like, they just become a statistic, and that's what I don't like about it, is, like, there's such an emphasis on regular attendance and expectation and, like, people to actually be actively engaging in stream chat and stuff like that. And, like, I guess as a creator, I never really started video gaming like that and publicizing myself, you know, to be able to get big. I didn't really care about that. I just wanted to have a fun time goofing off and dicking around with people and joking about fucking video games. Like, I just wanted to kick back and have a good time. And, like, build a small community and be able to kick back with people. Because, like, that's what video gaming is about. It's about community, and it's about enjoyment of the media. It's about enjoyment of the platform, you know? But it's like, if it becomes a financial investment to the point where you see it only as a business operationally, then it's just, it loses all life, and it's just not fun anymore. It's like, would I love to be able to make a video game living, like being able to just play shit as a full-time job? Fuck yeah, I would love to do that. That'd be fucking kick-ass if I was fortunate enough. But there's people like Darkside Phil, and there's people that are like total complete lolcows. There's like XQC, there's people out there that just don't deserve what they have, and it doesn't make sense morally to me. And, like, I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, like, I'm really not, but, like, I came across this streamer that I used to watch. I'm not gonna name them by name, but I came across this streamer that I used to watch. and they deleted their entire YouTube archive, and I was like, huh, that's a little curious. Now I can only see them live. I wonder what the deal with that is. And I literally looked on their Twitch channel, and they said that they removed all their YouTube content because of entitled viewers. And I'm like, what? Like, if your YouTube is an archive for your past playthroughs, what does entitlement actively, in the modern day, in the modern era, have to do with videos that you've compiled online?
Now for the other half.
Now, like, don't get me wrong, there's some people that I've banned from my channel, there's some people that will, like, leave comments on my YouTube videos saying, oh, you bitch too much. I'm well aware of that. Oh, this boss is stomping you into the fucking ground. I'm like, yeah, if I'm on this boss for 5 hours, it's probably because the game is constructed like shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not inept. Like, sometimes I'm inept, but, like, for example, when I was fighting Radahn on the Elden Ring DLC, and he took me 5 million years to fucking beat because I was trying to strategize and use different builds and use different components and use different face spells and different fucking buffs and different supports and all this other bullshit, and I was changing my gear and changing my setups, summoning the NPC, literally utilizing every element I could, and I still couldn't beat him because of the moveset that they gave the boss. That's fucking shitty game design, dude. Like, I'm sorry, like, if the boss is killing me with one-shot insta-kill bullshit, your boss is garbage. Literally, those games have been around so fucking long that they can't make an authentic challenge anymore. They need to make something so over-the-top baddie bullshit that you just can't fucking deal with it, so they can be like, haha, we finally bested you. Like, it's just a really shit boss design. It's completely uninspired. It's garbage. It has, like, 3 AoE attacks that you can't get the fuck out of the way of. It has attack strings that make no sense. It has attacks that are too quick for you to be able to keep up with the core combat, you know, mechanic for evasion that they provide you with. It's just, it's really dumb. It makes no fucking sense. I was like, this boss is trash. Like, I'm trying to respect it, and I'm trying not to get mad at it, but it's really hard to not get mad at when you can analyze the structure of what they were going for, and just, like, this was dog shit. Like, I thought Mesmer was cool, and Mesmer killed me about 10 or 12 times. I thought Mesmer was sick. His combos were fucking insane, but, like, he was a really cool fight. The fucking Putrescent Knight, really memorable bosses. R'Lana, really cool boss. Like, literally, there were so many good bosses in the Elden Ring DLC. Bale was cool, and I fucking lost my shit at Bale because literally the hit detection property for the physical portion of his body didn't connect with the physical property for the katana. There were so many good bosses in the Elden Ring DLC. There was R'Lana, there was Mesmer, there was the fucking Gaius Knight on the fucking pig that I didn't like too much, but he wasn't fucking awful, you know. There was the Shadow Tree avatar, there was so much good shit in that DLC. You know, Midra was cool as shit. Like, literally, almost every single boss in that DLC was a motherfucking hitter. Literally, every single one of those bosses. Even the Death Knights in the Catacombs were pretty fucking cool. Like, those bosses didn't slack. Radahn and that Sand City fucking fight club that they had you do, fucking garbage. Both those bosses were dog shit. The DLC would have been infinitely better without either of those two fights. I have never, to any capacity, in any Souls game, or Bloodborne, or Demon Souls, or whatever, Sekiro, I have never struggled that bad on a boss before. I've never been on a Souls boss for like 5 or 6 or 7 hours. And you know what's funny? To be able to beat the final Radahn for the Elden Ring DLC, you know what I ended up doing? I ended up stripping myself of all my armor, and just double tanking Great Hammers to his fucking face to stagger him a shit ton. That's all I did. Like, really, to beat the final boss of the DLC, the fucking creme de la creme of difficulty, I have to literally just strip myself of all my armor and just go ham on him with fucking Unga Bunga tank mode? Are you serious? Fuck strategy, fuck components, fuck, you know, fuck all that. Fuck all the components that we wove into the game to make the combat depth really nice. No, just literally drop all your shit and just go fucking naked and just Unga Bunga him with hammers. I'm like, this is crap. Fucking garbage. Like, even Melania kicked my ass for a long time before I beat Melania the first time, and she was a way better boss than that final Radahn fight. Even with her stupid waterfowl, I would rather fight Melania fucking 50 times and deal with waterfowl than fucking fight that Radahn boss again. Don't get me wrong, if they reduced his aggression and fixed his AI pattern, would he be that terrible? No.
Damn, Tom's really hard.
But his AoE stupid squirrely bullshit still doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, and I'm actually a little bit worried for the next FromSoft game, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'll probably buy the next FromSoft title that they produce, but I swear to God, if they do anything like that fucking bullshit Radahn fight again with unavoidable attacks that you can't get out of, I'm not gonna buy another FromSoft game again. I'm not gonna support a company that literally designs bosses to be unbeatable and unfair. Like, it's just stupid. Like, I like playing a fight and learning and adapting and, like, literally analyzing the core components and seeing what works and what doesn't so I can develop a strategy. That's different. When you design a boss with attacks that are deliberately made and designed to not be avoided, that defeats the purpose of the nature of the game. Like, it's supposed to be a combative, like, challenging experience. It's supposed to be able to test your ability to adapt and overcome. That's what those games are for.
My days. I mean, I'm game, I guess, but so you know, I have.
But, like, I don't know. Like, that's just a pet peeve with me. I don't want to fight bosses that are literally erected so that you can't learn them. Like, you can't adapt to them. You can't implement strategy elements. You can't do anything about it. It's just kind of shit. So FromSoft develops another game like that where the bosses are just over-the-top wacky squirrely shit. Like, don't get me wrong. Elden Ring had some of the most creative concepts that they've ever worked with before. But another thing that FromSoft keeps doing is they keep rehashing the same old concepts over and over and over again. Like with Dark Souls 3, they had the old Demon King, and that was just Izalith again. Like, incarnate in a fucking demon. And I was like, okay. They had the Lava Ruins. It was just redone Izalith, but just as shitty. And then they had the fucking crystal area with the fucking Crystallians or whatever, and the fucking Magic Academy. And Magic Academy is cool. But it's like, it's the same crystal bullshit. Like, there's no unique properties to it. There's nothing new. There's no new twist on it. It's just the same concepts they've already used. Oh, giant poison fucking swamp. Same concept, right? I'm really tired of that same concept bullshit. I wouldn't mind if they took the same idea and did something different with it. I wouldn't care. You know, if they gave it a different element. Like, if they made the ice magic or something or whatever. And they had, like, an ice domain and, like, a giant ice prince or whatever, like the fucking Ivory King from DS2. That was unique. Sir Alon being a fucking ninja from a foreign land. That was pretty fucking cool. He was, like, literally a samurai that became a knight. I was like, that's a sick concept right there. You know, like, people shit on DS2 a lot, myself included, but they had some really kick-ass concepts in there. Same with Demon Souls. Demon Souls has some really cool concepts and ideas, but it fucking fumbles with the execution really bad. Because I've already played all of Demon Souls, and it's kind of shit. Like, Demon Souls is honestly really fucking easy. Like, if you've played any Souls game, Demon Souls is insanely easy in comparison. The traps are predictable. The areas are kind of built to fuck with you a little bit. Like, especially, like, the Tower of Elatria and everything. Like, navigation is a little bit weird. But, like, Demon Souls bosses were totally ass. Like, the only good ones are maybe the Penetrator, and, like, crucify me, I think Dragon God is actually kind of a cool boss. It's a shit fight, but at least he looks really sick. But, like, I stand by it. I think Penetrator is, like, the only good boss in all of Demon Souls, so I'm gonna be absolutely honest. Tower Knight's kind of dog shit, the fucking Man-Eaters are dog shit, the fucking Fool's Idol is kind of cool. Really unique concept for that fight. I think the Fool's Idol is a cool boss. But, like, the fucking Swamp Hermit thing fucking sucks. Dirty Colossus fucking sucks. The giant mana ray was cool, too. The giant fucking mana. Where you gotta use, like, the Wind Sword or whatever, Yorm Sword, and fucking splash it out of the air with fucking air damage or whatever. Gimmick fight, but it was a really cool boss. It was unique, you know. Can you lose her fucking shield already, bitch? Oh, that's why. Somebody's fucking healing her. No wonder she hasn't lost her fucking shield. Oh yeah, they're called the Electi, I finally remember. That's why I said it wasn't elites, but it's somewhat similar to that. Bitch, can you just die? For the love of God, just die. Like, seriously, these enemies with the healing properties are so stupid.
Looks like your menu's
Thank
out.
you, for fuck's sake.
Now what you got for me?
I don't want to sit here and fight the same enemy for like 10 hours. Oh my god. DS2 is the best from the trilogy? I think DS3 is the best, but it rehashes and reuses too much shit. And Yorm was a fucking cop-out. Yorm should not have been a gimmick fight. He should have had 3 phases, and he should have been a way cooler boss. But you have, like, Lorien and Lothric, you have Pontiff Sulivan, you have the Dancer of the Boreal Valley, like, there's some really cool boss fights in 3. Yeah, I think FromSoft needs to remake DS2, and they need to remake Bloodborne. As much as I fucking love Bloodborne, I'd be a fucking absolute cultist, diehard fanboy if I said that game did not need a refresh. It needs a fucking refresh. Literally, Bloodborne initially came out for the PS4. There have been 2 console generations since Bloodborne released. Literally, there needs to be a re-release of Bloodborne. Like an HD remaster, a patch, a performance fucking upgrade. You know, like, yeah, Bloodborne really honestly deserves a fucking sequel. If I'm being completely, absolutely 1,000,000% real, absolutely deserves a sequel. Missed potential. Like, so, I don't know if you guys know this, but FromSoft is owned by a company named Kadokawa. And Kadokawa produces games like Armored Core, they produce the Souls series, they produce Elden Ring, literally, you know, sometimes in collaboration with, you know, studios like Bamco, and, like, when Sekiro was, fucking made with, Activision or whatever, literally, the games are using those engines, right, which is why they have notoriety in the credits or whatever, which is why they have their name on the front of the game, right, but literally, Sony is in talks to, acquire Kadokawa. And if Kadokawa gets acquired by Sony, literally console wars are absolutely over. Like, literally, Souls games are some of the most, like, sought-for, fought-for games on the fucking market. These enemies are level 25. This is kind of another thing that this game does. I experienced this in the last stream. I had to get into Vile Lictor's Fortress, and they were throwing enemies at me that were, like, literally 5 levels higher than me. I don't know what you expect me to do with that. I can't kill enemies that are 5 levels higher than me. Like, I'm at a severe decline disadvantage here. Like, that shit's just stupid. Just stop doing this. It's just fucking dumb. It doesn't make any sense. It literally disrupts the flow of the combat and of the game. It's kind of retarded. I'm not gonna hold you, it's kind of dumb. Like, look, I have to kill this Brenda person. I'm not gonna be able to kill that Brenda person because they have health recovery, number one. Number two, they're literally numerous levels higher than me. So instead of being able to proceed with the story arc, I have to go out and explore the world and fucking get level 24 or 25 and then come here and fight all these enemies. Yeah, but Sony is currently in talks to acquire Kadokawa, so if Sony acquires Kadokawa, it's game over. Like, literally, console wars are over, Sony owns everything, everything's gonna be right with the world. Literally, because Sony is, like, I'm not gonna lie, PlayStation is absolutely the better platform. Microsoft has a better controller, but Sony has the better expansive games, they have better IPs, literally, they have better network functionality, they host way more sales. Literally, Microsoft just upped their subscription prices with fucking Microsoft Game Pass and everything. Like, nobody wants to pay for that shit. It's a bad business move. It's a bad financial venture. Like, I get that companies are kind of struggling, what with, like, the, you know, economic climate and all that, but not the way to do it. If you want to be able to produce money and turn a profit as a company, especially as a gaming, you know, industry, you need to market subscriptions to people that are going to gain you a larger user base. You need to employ something that will attract people rather than turn them away. You need to use reverse psychology. You need to diminish the prices of things, like standard things that would come with any sort of game console, like, you know, PS Network subscriptions, or like, hey, if you want certain discounts on the market or whatever, if you have an active membership, you get discounts. You know, depending on your membership tier, blah, blah, blah. And then you get a whole bunch of perks and shit. Like, they need to lure people in with that kind of methodology for financing, because if they don't do that, they're gonna go under. And Sony knows that. But for whatever reason, Microsoft doesn't do that. And if you remember, Microsoft used to be all about exclusivity and platform, you know, exclusion back in the day. Because, like, they wanted their own IPs to be on their consoles. And then they became so desperate that they needed to start branching off and sharing their IPs with Steam. And everything like that. So they have more of an accessibility base. Because, like, they needed to generate profit. And it's the same thing with Sony. And that's why you have Halo releasing on PlayStation consoles now. And I know that sounds really weird to people, but, like, given the game market and given the economic climate, it just makes fucking sense. It's still a little bit weird to see Master Chief on a fucking Sony console, I'm not gonna hold you, that's weird as fuck. That's like seeing Kratos on a fucking Nintendo console. It's like, what the hell's going on there, you know? But I guess because we can't get any further in this current storyline, we might have to do this next stream. I don't know how long I've been on, but I think it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah, hour and a half, perfect timing. Let's go run some vault key fragments, and let's see if we can't get some of these vaults open. Let's go run the vaults in the meantime. We can use the vaults to be able to bolster our level a little bit, so we can come back here and have a bit easier of a time being able to get to Callus, I think. Yeah, I'll take more elemental damage. Sony, FromSoft, they can make games PS5 exclusives. I don't even think it's about platform exclusivity. I think it's just about being the head reindeer on the sleigh for the gaming market, which Sony has always been anyway. And everybody who's a Microsoft fanboy says all of Sony's IPs suck. Don't get me wrong, Microsoft does have some really cool IPs. Like, they have The Outer Worlds. I think The Outer Worlds is a really great franchise. They have Halo. Halo has been notorious for fucking many a year. Literally, they have Gears of War. Gears of War is one of the biggest action RPG franchises on the market, again. Like, literally. But, like, then you turn to Sony. Sony has God of War. They have Horizon, Zero Dawn, Forbidden West. They have Uncharted. They have fucking Last of Us. Like, literally, they have games that have flip-turned the industry on its fucking head. They have revolutionary enterprises when it comes to gaming that Microsoft just was never really able to compete with. And don't get me wrong, there's a couple IPs that Microsoft could bring back that would win me over. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is another one, exactly my point. So they constantly develop games that push the industry, whereas Microsoft kind of just keeps releasing elements of games that are inspired by this, but has elements of this, and it gives it its own identity, but it's derivative of this, and it's inspired by this, blah blah blah. Like, you can only do that so much before it becomes so commonplace that it just gets bland and boring, and it loses its sense of appeal, you know what I mean? So my take on it is that this has always been a console war that Sony's been ahead of. Like, Sony industriously has been ahead of the game when it comes to introducing peripherals. And that's why, like, Nintendo caught onto that bandwagon. When Nintendo made the Wii U and they started producing amiibos and they started producing different types of controllers, and they started giving unique modifications to things and coming out with different installations of consoles with different specs and everything like that. Like, literally, this is how they marketed and pushed their brand. Literally, like, they had Mario-themed everything, they had Link-themed everything, they had fucking Splatoon-themed everything. This is how they boosted sales, is by just taking advantage of people's want and desire to have materialistic things. If somebody's a really huge fan of something, there's nothing in this world that's going to stop them from buying a Splatoon-themed console over a traditional Switch, right? If you like Splatoon a hell of a lot, you're probably going to go out and buy the Splatoon Switch, as opposed to a regular model. This incentivizes people to go out and spend more, or, rather than spend more, just get the adverse console that's out of the, you know, traditional norm, so they can bribe to friends, or have brownie points socially, or be like, yeah, I got the cool version of the console, like, whatever, blah blah blah. And, like, Microsoft did that too. When they had the Xbox 360, they came out with the fucking Xbox 360 Elite, and they came out with the Xbox 360 Pro. You guys remember that, right? Literally. And then they came out with the, fucking, what was it? The fucking Xbox Series X and S or whatever? Like, they've been on to making different iterations of consoles too, but it took them a while to catch up, and it took them a while to, like, understand the dynamic and the demographic of what Nintendo and Sony were trying to do. And Microsoft were some of the last people to do it, I think. Because when PS3 came out, for example, you had the original fat PS3 that was able to be backwards compatible with PS2, but not PS1. The original fat PS2 was backwards compatible with PS1, and then the slim for the PS2 was also backwards compatible for PS1, because people wanted the utility of backwards compatibility. Nintendo caught on to that really quick. Nintendo's going after pursuit of backwards compatibility in a different way now, and it's kind of a way that I don't honestly really appreciate, where they have this Nintendo Live subscription or whatever, and you have to fucking pay a certain amount a month to be able to have access to a classic catalog of games. But the way Nintendo's purposing it is like, oh, if you have this tier, you have access openly to this console, and whatever games are available to that console. So, like, for example, if you wanted to go play Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, or 3, or whatever, you'd have to have this tier of subscription that gives you the NES or whatever, and then you can play those. You know, if you want the N64 backward catalog or whatever, of which they only have an expanse of maybe, like, 8 or 9 games that really heavily popularized, like Mario Kart, you know, maybe Paper Mario, maybe Super Mario 64, you know, games that were really revolutionary for that time period for the console when it first released, blah blah blah, you can get that. And now they're issuing GameCube backward compatibility. And granted that they just re-released Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, that was practically the only reason I was keeping a GameCube around. And I wasn't even keeping my GameCube around because I eventually ended up getting myself a Wii, which has the same backwards compatibility capability as being able to play a GameCube. So I'm like, okay, why would I have a GameCube and a Wii independently if I can just play GameCube games on the Wii? It's just more space. Like, why would I want to take up more space, have more components, more peripherals, more cables, like, you know, cluttering my setup or whatever? And that's why Nintendo's trying to go really modular, because, like, the Wii U was a huge fucking flop. Everybody knows the Wii U had a terrible launch, nothing fucking worked with it, nobody wanted the games that came with the Wii U. The Wii U was a colossal fucking failure. It was a financial venture by Nintendo that didn't really get to breathe because it fucking sucked so bad. And it's like, yeah, Nintendo should learn from that, but they started marketing amiibos and mass-producing them to be able to make up for the corporate losses of the fucking console. But the current president of Nintendo at the time literally cut his own salary and took responsibility for his own failure and his own ineptitude. He's like, I really thought this console was going to be it. And then they went back to the drawing board, and that's what they did with the Nintendo Switch. And then the Nintendo Switch is both more modular, more aesthetically and visually appealing. You can literally carry it with you to an airport, on a train, on a plane. You can literally take it on a boat. You can do whatever you want with it. And its peripherals are really easy to set up, and it doesn't require a lot of juice. It doesn't require a lot of power. Not only that, they're able to produce modern games with high production value for very little storage space, which is really incentivizing for that kind of console, right? So the hardware and the limitations they have are not exactly difficult to work with, even in this modern era of, like, everything becoming, like, far more technologically advanced, games getting, like, way more crazy with graphic fidelity and everything like that, performance, blah, blah, blah. Nintendo's kind of able to scoop out the same fucking quality with half the tools necessary. They don't need giant development teams. They just have well-dedicated people that know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to making games and shit. But, like, don't get me wrong, Nintendo and Sony have their own respective properties. The console war was never between Nintendo and the two other platforms. The console war was always between Sony and Microsoft for the secondary best gaming platform on the market. And don't get me wrong, I hold PlayStation, I hold Sony and Nintendo, both in very high regards, practically on the same fucking level. Just different strokes for different folks. If you favor family-based entertainment, or if you have, kids, or your kids have friends, whatever, blah, 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 you're probably gonna want to go with the Switch over a fucking PlayStation, but that doesn't mean that you're not gonna buy a PlayStation. But PlayStation is for more story-centric experiences. If you want something immersive, like blah, 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 get a PlayStation.